Hey friends, it's Monica Schrader from the SchraderPage.com and the Schrader Page blog. I'm here to introduce you to my book study, Diary of a Spider by Doreen Cronin. It is a really great story that is going to take you through a diary of a spider as he learns many life lessons. It starts out with a reading response rubric that I actually use with my students when I grade their packets. And it goes through the different steps and activities in the unit. Starts out with a pre-reading page where students are reading the title and looking at the illustration, and then also creating their own illustration from the visualization and predictions that they have about the book. You get the Diary of a Spider vocabulary words, and the Diary of a Spider picture definition sheet. I actually use either one of these sheets during the reading. I give my students a highlighter, and I allow them to highlight the words as we go through and read the story. So it's a great way to keep them focused. During centers that week, I also may have diary ABC order where the students are using the vocabulary words from the story. Another option is using my spider bubble map and my fly bubble map. I like my students to be able to respond and be involved in the reading and also the thinking. So having these maps in front of them, it allows them to record their thinking about each of the characters. After we read the story, we take some time and talk about how Grandpa tells Spider the secret to a happy life. And my groups discuss what they think the secret is to a happy human life, and they list a couple ideas. And then they write a postcard to Spider telling him what we think the human life, what the happiness is of a human life. There's also a think about sheet where you are going to talk with your students about, do you really think flies and spiders can be friends? And they have to go then and prove their response. There's a summarizing, someone wanted but so. It's interesting, even though that this is put into a diary format, you can still use this table to teach your students to summarize the story. And of course we have to use a Venn diagram comparing spiders and flies. I also create an anchor chart in my classroom, and I use these labels for the title and the author. We also go through and do the characters and the different settings in the story, and the problem and the solution. And then these are the graphics that I use, and they're adorable because you have fly and then you also have worm. In writing that week, my students create a diary of a kid, and I have them go ahead and illustrate a picture of themselves on the cover, and then they put a diary of their name. We cut the covers out and I mount them on construction paper, and then copy a week's worth of these pages. These are the entries inside, and staple them together, and they have their own little books, and they record things each day just like Spider did. And we also make sure that we try to record some life lessons that we might learn at school. There's also a friendship writing sheet. In your opinion, who is a better friend for Spider, fly or a worm? So it's kind of fun to see what they come up with. And then we also do a very fun molting activity in the story. Spider actually molts while he's at class, and his teacher calls on his molted skin. So it's just a really good way to tie some science in. And I know you've probably all done it. You put that white glue on your finger and you pull it off, and you have a replica of your skin. So we go through the stages, and stage 1, they illustrate a picture, a diagram of what it looks like with the glue, and then as they peel it off. And then in stage 4, I go ahead and actually tape down their molted skin. And then their final product is this is what I learned about molting. And there's a book recommendation sheet for after they finish the book study. So thanks so much for watching. And then if you download this file, please let me know what you think about it, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks again, Monica Schrader from the SchraderPage.com and the Schrader Page blog.